Hey everyone, today we're going to be unboxing this DJI Osmo Nano standard combo kit. This is the 128GB version. We'll open this up so you know what comes in the box, go over some of the main specs, and give you some close-ups of the camera. We're not going to go over any footage in this video. I'll save that for a different video. But of course, if you are interested in the DJI Osmo Nano, it is linked below in the description. So let's go ahead and dive right into it. So the DJI Osmo Nano comes in two sections. You've got the Vision Dock with the screen on it and the camera. They can be used separated or connected together. Now again, this is the standard combo kit in the 128GB version. It also comes in a 64GB variant. Let's go over some of the specs. So the Osmo Nano has the all-new CMOS 1/1.3" sensor in it. It can do up to 4K 60 frames per second, and it has a 143-degree wide field of view. It's got 10-bit and D-Log M color performance, and it's lightweight and has dual-sided magnet design so you can stick it to things magnetically. And then on the other side here, it says it has a 200-minute extended battery life and fast charging, live view with remote control and swift content transfer, Osmo audio, so direct microphone connection if you have those DJI mics like I do. And then the camera itself is 10 meters waterproof, and the Vision Dock, so the Vision Dock is not waterproof, it's IPX4 rated, so that's more of a splash resistant. And then on the back here it shows what's in the box, and of course we'll have a look at all this. So the camera, the magnetic lanyard, the multifunctional Vision Dock, the dual direction magnetic ball joint adapter mount, a protective case, USB 3.1 cable, magnetic hat clip, and the documents. So let's go ahead and open this up. All right, so in the box, there's quite a bit of stuff. We did get a sticker as well as the quick start guide here, a bunch of accessories, and then the camera and the multifunctional Vision Dock. We'll get to that in a moment. Let's start out with some of the accessories here. So let's start out with this one. This is the magnetic ball cap mount. So that can clip onto your hat, and then you've got the clip here at the top. So buttons on the side like that. So that's what that looks like. It says Osmo on the back. And then we've got the suction cup mount. So this is actually called the dual direction magnetic ball joint adapter mount. So that's what that looks like. So again, the connector there on the top, the buttons, it says Osmo. This has kind of a ball joint in it so you can rotate it around. And the cool thing is this suction cup unscrews so you can mount it to other devices. There's a little 1/4" thread on there, so things like Gorilla Pods, that sort of thing, will just screw in right on the bottom. So that's what that looks like. And then we've got the magnetic lanyard. So that can go under your shirt, and you can clip the camera right to your shirt. Some instructions on the back. We'll peel that off. And then the lanyard is kind of a ropey string, and it is adjustable, so you just pull on these and it adjusts it shorter or longer. So that is the magnetic lanyard. And then we've got a charging cable. So this is a USB-C to USB-C charging cable. I measured it. It's about 20 inches or so in length. And then the last accessory is the protective housing. So that's what that looks like. It's a plastic with a button extension there. It says Osmo. The lens cutout. Microphone cutouts. On the bottom here, we've got the connectors and the quick mount spots. Now, one thing I was wondering about, is there a spot for a lanyard? And there is right here. Such a small camera that I want it to be on a lanyard. Now, I like these ones here. They come in a multi-pack, and that'll connect nicely in there. If you're interested in those, I'll link them below in the description. And then, of course, the multifunctional Vision Dock. So it's got the screen here on one side. And there's buttons here you can push to mount the camera. You've got the connectors there on the top. So again, that button. There's a shutter button there. Not much on that side. And this side has a little door here that opens up. So you've got a memory card slot and your USB-C port there for charging. Bottom there. So that's the multifunctional Vision Dock. And then last but definitely not least is the camera. So we can peel that off, and there's the lens. So that's what it looks like there, DJI. I think that's a microphone hole there. Shutter button on the top. Not really anything on that side. I think those are microphones there. It says Nano on the back. I really like how the plastic housing is kind of see-through there, so you can see into it. And then the quick mount and connections there on the bottom. Now, if you're wondering about the actual size of it here, so we've got about just under 2¼ inches, maybe 2 1/8 by, what's that? Just over 1 inch. And the depth of it here, just over 3/4 of an inch. And then the lens sticks up a little bit more, so we've got just over 1 inch right there. So really nice and small. Now this will mount to the Multifunctional Vision Dock, so we'll go ahead and put that on there. Push the button in. It really connects to it quite solid. Oh, the battery life showed up. Let's go ahead and turn this on. We'll hold down the button here. And it looks like it needs to be set up there. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. But before I do that, I do want to show you what it looks like in the case here as well. So we'll put that in there. So that's what it looks like in the protective case. And that's what it looks like with my lanyard attached. So that's nice on there. That'll work really well just because it is so small. All right, I got the DJI Osmo Nano all up and running there. It took about 10 minutes or so with the firmware update. So the screen is working there. Nice, vibrant, quick screen. I can detach the screen or the Vision Dock and it still gives me a live view. So when I've got that off there, I've still got the live view. And if I turn it vertical like that, it'll switch to a vertical filming mode. So that's really nice. Connect that back on. So if we swipe left and right, we can go through all the different modes here. So we've got photo, video, super night, slow motion, and hyperlapse. So for example, slow motion here, if we select that and swipe up from the bottom, we can go up to 4K 120 frames per second, and 1080p does 240 frames per second. And if we go back down to video mode here, we can do 1080p up to 60 frames per second. And we've got 4K 60 frames per second as well, which is what I like to film in. And then we can swipe down from the top. You've got some more settings here. And if you swipe to the right, you can see that the internal storage I get once it's all set up is 107.6 gigabytes out of the total 128. And you can actually put an SD card here in the Vision Dock as well and transfer that footage over to that as well. So fair amount of storage there. So in 4K 60, that's giving me 3 hours and 4 minutes. In 4K 30, it's giving me 4 hours and 3 minutes. In 1080p 30, it's giving me 6 hours and 42 minutes. And in 1080p 60, it's giving me 5 hours and 18 minutes. And again, that's on the 128 gigabyte internal storage here on the DJI Osmo Nano. So that's the DJI Osmo Nano. I'm excited to use it. It's so small and compact. It'll be great for our travels and adventures.